Hey, good morning everybody. Matt Zerby here from Wasco Nursery, and happy Mother's Day weekend to you. I am coming to you live from the garden center. I don't know if you see that big blue section above my head there, but that's actually a blue sky. We haven't seen a lot of those this year, and we are very thankful that the sun has appeared and that the gray days are hopefully gone for at least a little while anyway. We have a wonderful, wonderful forecast for doing just about anything outdoors this weekend. Upper 60s during the day, sunny, upper 40s to low 50s at night. There's nothing, at least in the 10-day forecast, I think below, maybe it was 45 or so. We've got some 70s and 80s coming, so it is time to get your plant on. So rather than do a typical coffee chat this morning, it's Mother's Day weekend. We have a ton of stuff going on here at the garden center, and I didn't want to take up too much time this morning because we have a lot to do to get ready for y'all. But I did want to show you what the garden center looks like, because you see me on camera a lot, and if you come in here, you'll see some of our sales staff. And I wanted to do two things. One, I wanted to recognize all the moms who work for us here at Wasco Nursery. We have just an absolutely fantastic team of dedicated individuals, many of whom are moms, and they're going to be giving up their Mother's Day weekend to help all of you, to help me here at the garden center. And I couldn't be more appreciative. So I just wanted to send a shout out to all of them, as well as all the other hardworking moms and mother-like figures out there who work every day to make all of our lives and the lives of our kids better. So thank you very much. And the other thing that I wanted to, or the other group that I wanted to recognize, is our sales yard team, because they typically are working behind the scenes, quite literally in this fact, because you can see Miguel right there returning some carts, and they're getting set up for the day already. But we have a wonderful, wonderful team here in our sales yard in the garden center that are doing literally just about everything, from helping customers find plants, to loading their cars, to unloading trucks when plant material comes in, watering, plant care, you name it, they do it. They do it with grace and style. And I just want to turn the camera around here and just kind of show you what the garden center looks like. We've had the rainiest April ever. Or at least in 67 years, something like that. The rainiest April. We had 24 days of measurable rainfall in April. And I think we had 42 out of 44, something along those lines, days that were cloudy. So through damp, cold, crummy conditions, our sales yard team has just, I mean, really in a lot of senses, just pulled off the unimaginable. We are absolutely ready for you. Oops, sorry. We have an 8.5 acre garden center and 140 acre nursery, and we are just absolutely filled to the brim with beautiful plant material. And the sales yard team has just made this place look amazing. The plants look exceptional, and that's part of what I wanted to show you this morning. Just kind of highlight a few things, you know, maybe some great Mother's Day gifts. This is a brand new hydrangea from Proven Winners called Fairy Trail. It's actually called Fairy Trail Bride Hydrangea. It's a new hybrid. It's kind of a creeping hydrangea, more horizontal or mounding in habit. Looks awesome planted in a container. White with just a blush of pink to it. Very cool plant. We're not absolutely convinced of its hardiness here yet. It's brand new to the market. It's a zone 5/6 hardy plant is what they're listing it as. So we're trialing it here. We're going to kind of see how it goes. The Dianthus have never looked better. This is the Paint the Town. This is Paint the Town Magenta. Hardy Dianthus, fragrant, cool blue foliage, bloom like crazy. Garden phlox. An absolutely gorgeous batch of digitalis or foxglove. I wanted to highlight a few plants over here. Nepeta, or catmint it's called, the purple flower on the bottom there, that one's called cat's pajamas. We have some beautiful 2-gallon lemon meringue Baptisia right there. also known as false indigo. The lupin, you all have been going crazy over the last couple weeks. They are just really phenomenal. These are part of the West Country series. Big flower stalks, gorgeous flowers, just coming into bloom right there. The perennial section looks amazing. We have a really great selection of little pre-bonsai plants. All of these are little hardy evergreen plants. They can be used in miniature gardens, railroad gardens, fairy gardens. They're great for bonsai. And then step into the greenhouse, and it is just absolutely gorgeous in here. The plant selection has never been better. We have really unique things like Spanish lavender trees. We have shrimp plants, which are always kind of fun with that really weird looking little flower. It looks like a little shrimp. The caladium section looks amazing. Tons of new varieties in there. The hanging baskets are just absolutely outstanding. Great Barrier Reef, that is part of the Rockapulco series of double impatiens with some euphorbia in there. Great for a part sun or shady location. The tropical section looks amazing. We have a really great new line of house plants from Proven Winners, part of their Leaf Joy collection. So there's a few of those right here and right over there. They're kind of scattered all throughout the greenhouse. Wonderful selection of annual or tropical ferns. But it just keeps getting better. This is one of my favorites, Senorita Rosalita Cleome. Great sterile variety, also known as spider flower. The salvia section has expanded this year. We have a bunch of new colors, so if you're looking to put some things out for the hummingbirds, there's nothing better than the salvia. Pink skyscraper, saucy coral, Ember's Wish, Wendy's Wish. Tons of great options there. We have pre-made drop-in containers. If you have a big container at home and you don't want to do the planting yourself, you can take one of these. This is made out of like a pulp, paper pulp, and that can be just dropped right into your container, fill a little soil around the edges, and you are done and ready to go. We have beautiful pots of just about every size already made up that you can just put right out onto the patio. The geranium section, which we are well known for, is absolutely gorgeous. Baskets, small ones, big ones, just about everything. We have an entire greenhouse dedicated to herbs and vegetables. Most of these are grown in-house. Look at that tomato section. So those are all heirloom, this entire table basically. There might be a couple non-heirloom varieties in there, but that entire section is all heirloom tomatoes. There's more over here. I mean, just big beefy stalks, no wimpy plants. These are all grown organically right here. Just really looking fantastic. If you don't have a garden, we have these nice big pots that are filled with tomato called Better Bush, which, as the name suggests, is a bushy variety, so it doesn't get quite as tall. Does very well in containers, so you can just leave it right in this. It's got a built-in cage. You can just pick that up, take it home with you, put it on the patio, and you are off to the races. Cool things like lettuce baskets you can just snip and regrow, so harvest what you want and make a salad, throw it on a sandwich, and it'll just grow back. Of course, there's plenty more in here. Peppers, our herb section is amazing. We grow our own basil, tons and tons of basil. There's Thai basil, regular basil, ruby red basil, African basil, which blooms continually all summer, which is really cool. You can eat it. You can grow it for the pollinators. It does not go to seed. It still tastes good even when it's flowering, which is unlike other basil. So just a really great selection in here. Our earlier stuff, cold crop stuff, is outside. All of this is safe to plant outside at this point. So we've got cabbages, kales, lettuces, cauliflowers, broccoli, spinach, more lettuce, arugula, all sorts of stuff. Wonderful strawberries. And then one of the other things that we are well known for is our native section. You know, if you've listened to any of my videos, you know that I am a big proponent of planting native plant material. I think that there's certainly a place in the landscape for some non-native stuff, obviously. But native plant material does well here. It attracts pollinators. It provides forage for insects and birds and other animals. And we have a very large selection of native plant material in little pint containers like these. We have them in 1 gallon pots like this. We have a native tree section and native shrub section starting right here going back. So these are all smaller container things that you can take with you. Oaks, black oak, white oak, native sugar maple, native larch, all sorts of stuff, currant, wild currant, and edible elderberry, all sorts of stuff. But the native plant section just looks really, really great. We've got a really nice selection of milkweed plants, from butterfly milkweed to common milkweed. We have swamp milkweed and a bunch of others in here. And we also have a nice section of shade-loving native plant material. So we've got big-leafed aster, Jacob's ladder, which is just coming into full bloom. The sedge looks really, really nice. All the carex look great. They love this cool, wet weather. I was able to get my hands on some Celandine Poppy this year, which this is the native variety, not the invasive one, because there is a lesser Celandine, which is invasive here. This one is fantastic. Cutleaf toothwort, that's been a really hard plant for me to get. I found some nice ones. Shade loving, early blooming, little whitish with maybe just a blush of pink to it. Great native plant. We've got sharp-lobed hepatica right there, and native columbine. Of course, the bluebells are in their glory right now, just looking really fantastic. Huge selection of ground covers, shady, sunny, you name it. There's a really nice selection in there. We have a big section of ornamental grasses. And then the garden center here is just looking really, really fantastic. Of course, I haven't even gotten to our tree section yet, which, as you know, we're growing most of our own trees here on site. We have 140 acres of growing fields, all here in northern Kane County, and just lovely selection of plant materials. If I've ever done a landscape design for you, it's quite possible that it included a dwarf ginkgo, because those are absolutely one of my favorites. We have a really nice selection of dwarf ginkgos, grindstone, marican, jade butterfly, really nice selection in there. And then I wanted to just show you what we call our unique conifer selection. I believe it is second to none in the area. So there are just some really, really cool plants in here. Dwarf costers, false cypress, weird weeping spruces, spruces with yellow foliage, false cypresses with golden foliage. Right there is soft serve gold. That's a really cool plant. We've got these neat weeping spruce over here. This is a not weeping variety called gold-tipped Oriental spruce. So when the new growth comes out, it's going to be bright yellow. Just a wonderful selection. That one sitting right there on the rock in the center is a little tiny dwarf arborvitae called Primo. doesn't even really look like an arborvitae, almost looks more like a false cypress, but really cool plant. Some little dwarf Korean firs up there. We have really cool things like Frankie Boy arborvitae, which almost looks like it shouldn't even be real. Dwarf hemlocks, and all sorts of wonderful, unique plant material. Dwarf white pines, dwarf Japanese white pines, Swiss stone pine, but plenty to choose from. You can hear some of the machinery. Like I said, the sales yard team is already busy getting ready, and we are in for a wonderful day. We've got tons of parking available, so with an 8.5 acre garden center and 100 plus parking spots, you don't have to worry about the crowds. This is probably not necessarily a new favorite, but relatively new. This is Ice Dragon Korean Japanese maple hybrid. I've talked about these in the past. They are tough plants. I have one planted on the west side of my house. I planted it as a little sample. It was in a 1 gallon pot. The first winter was that first polar vortex winter we had, and it made it through like a champ, and it just looks fantastic. So it is a true zone 4 hardy cut leaf Japanese type maple. Just a really beautiful plant. This is part of the Jack Frost collection, which was bred and developed up at UW-Madison by Dr. Ed Hasselkiss. This is another member of that group of Jack Frost, part of that collection. This one's called Arctic Jade, another fantastic variety. And we also have Northwind, which is probably my favorite, but just a beautiful selection of plants. We have a wonderful day on tap for you. So we hope that you will come out and see us. Turn the camera back around. So if we don't get a chance to see you, hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. If there's anything that we can help you with, we'd love to do so. So please come on by. We are open both Saturday and Sunday. In fact, we are open 7 days a week from now all the way through 4th of July. 4th of July will be the next day that we close. And then we'll be open from July 5th all the way until Thanksgiving, 7 days a week. So we're always here to help, and we would love to have the opportunity to meet your landscape and garden needs. Have a wonderful day, everybody.